So, as part of that research in this abstract post war art movement, I came across some writings by Clement Greenberg, who was essentially an art critic who focused on form over content. He very much saw avant garde as an energy that kept not only art, but culture in general moving forward, and maintained that this concept did not depend upon the narrative or content that the work displayed, but depended more on an independence from the content. Without getting too stuck into that, I came across one particular piece that I thought was very interesting, titled Avant-Garde and Kitsch from 1939, and he compares one to the other. He compares avant-garde to kitsch. When I read it, I thought about discussing this comparison and the respective definitions of kitsch and avant-garde. But then as the days went on, I realized that my thoughts went back to what he said about how understanding any work of art and the perception of any work of art depends a lot on conditioning. Naturally, those who are more comfortable, i.e. who do not have to worry about making a living or supporting their family, etc., have more time to dedicate to learning about the various codes and devices that avant-gardists use to communicate via their works. Because I think I said earlier in the show, art tends to demand time in order to be understood and even appreciated. So this is something that Pierre Bourdieu as well would discuss later that century, but also it's a concept that is fundamentally inspired by the writings of Karl Marx. Anyways, this idea of understanding works of art requiring a level of comfort highlights the thesis that we need to have time in order to appreciate works of art that are a bit more challenging than those where we recognize familiar elements, including body shapes and events portrayed within the works of art. You'll find that most people still maintain that anybody could paint a work by Kandinsky or even Van Gogh or Van Gogh. Even the teacher I had in secondary school maintained that anybody could paint like an impressionist, although admittedly maybe I misunderstood him. Or at least I hope I did. So this theory, of course, the theory by Greenberg I just referenced, was it made me think about how the conditioning starts from an early age when, as kids, we draw pictures. Believe it or not, as far as I can remember, I always knew well enough to draw a green line at the bottom of a page for the ground, a blue line at the top for the sky with a little circle, a yellow circle as the sun in the top corner. And just above the green line, I would draw a house with a chimney, despite the fact that I was born in Genoa in Italy, where the vast majority of people live in apartment flats. And and then I would draw little figures of people, mostly my mum, my dad, and myself. I guess it was also a way for me to understand the world around me. But I wonder, was there a time when I would draw things that made absolute sense to me and represented the way I saw things around me at a very, very early age that nobody else would understand because it was abstract? And was the fact that people couldn't understand what I was drawing, together with my desire of being able to communicate with people around me, a large part of the reason why I learned to draw landscapes with the green lines at the bottom and the blue line at the top? And when I think about that, I think about how maybe that conditioning too is detrimental to the nurturing of precocious genius that a child might begin to show from an early age. Now, obviously, I don't remember that far back to a time when I was drawing in a language that only I could understand. And also, I don't have any children of my own, so I don't know. But I came across an interview with Richard Tuttle. And in it, he was talking about precisely the same thing I was thinking about. Richard Tuttle is a post-minimalist artist known for his small, subtle, intimate works. And again, one of the people I'd love to record a conversation with. But I don't even know how to get through to him. I don't know how to contact him or anything. He's too big within the art world. In any case, this is a clip from an interview of his where he vividly recalls his formative years and remembers how, as a child, people around him struggled to understand his genius, or what is commonly referred to in the art world as the I.
So what happens is the artist is born in a family that has no idea what that person is, and so automatically you get all kinds of pain, like they try to make you like they are, or in my case, when I entered school, I visually speaking, I was a genius level, but my teacher had no experience, no concept of that, and so my work was regarded as all the other drawings were. I already knew that art was my life, and so the teacher puts up everybody else's work and not mine. It was really a big shock. But what I drew was it looked like it could be of a kind of rainbow, and with a horizon. I didn't put my flowers from the bottom of the page or my sun up in the corner, this kind of thing, but I did see, and I was shocked because to me that was the first day of my life, and then I looked at the other children and I saw the sun in the corner and I admired the innocence. I mean, I remember feeling also that is something I no longer have.
I should also mention that this video is produced by the Louisiana channel. It's actually quite an emotional interview, and Tuttle is very candid about his early experiences. He actually breaks down early on as he recalls his early relationship with his fractured family. It's fascinating stuff that, again, is available for you to see on YouTube on the Louisiana channel.